Members of the media, J.P. Testwuide, Harrison Mooney, Key Broadcast.
JP, tough loss for you tonight. What did you think was the turning point in this game?
You know, I wouldn't even put a turning point in this game. You know, I mean, the men wearing the Heat jerseys gave it everything they had every shift. And, you know, it really, I mean, from the drop of the puck, I mean, you saw, I mean, there was no turning point. I mean, you know, we had a couple quick goals, and then, you know, they came back. That's playoff hockey. And, I mean, to end the way it did kind of stings for everybody in the room. But you know what? It's behind us, and, I mean, we just have to learn from it. And, I mean, it's a defeat. It's not a failure. So we're really proud of the way we played.
What do you think was the change with the penalty kill tonight, that it gave up a couple after you know, being near flawless for the rest of the series?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. You know, we had a very good penalty kill for the whole series, and you know, as far as you can look at, you know, it wasn't good tonight, but I wouldn't say that. I would say, you know, it's just the way it turns out. I mean, they're going to get their chances, and you know, they just ended up burying them now instead of earlier. So I think, like, you know, my hat goes out to, you know, the penalty kill and the power play. I mean, they created some unbelievable chances for us, and a couple bounces here and there, it could have been a totally different game. So, I mean, we can't blame anybody. It's a team effort, so.
Dan Kim, Big Abby News. What were your thoughts on that penalty call in OT?
Hey, I mean, you know, the refs see it like it is, and you can't really, I mean, it could have been the other way. I mean, I saw a couple high sticks there. It's just the you know, you can't pass blame. It's really it's just the game, and you know, you just take what's given, and I mean, we just fell short. You got to give them credit. They're a good team. They got a good squad, and I mean, they came and battled through it and came back. So, I mean, our hats are off to them too. They played really well. So.
What was the Toronto, just in general in the series? I mean, they're just obviously a very tough physical group, aren't they?
Yeah, and I mean, they've got really skilled, you know, first and second line players, and you know, they move the puck well. They do a lot of things well, and Scrivens is there, you know, backstopping them, and made some really key saves. So, I mean, for us to really, you know, it's not like I think, you know, there was times when, you know, we had them on the ropes, and you know, we Scrivens was there. So, hats off to him too.
What do you think about your team's goaltending throughout the whole playoffs this year?
Oh, it was good, really good. I mean, Tails, he played so well, and just I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. I mean, he's focused, determined. Like, he's a guy you want backstopping you, and I mean, he led the way, and he really, you know, he put his heart on the line. So it was really fun to see that.
You satisfied with your overall performance personally from start of the year till now?
That's a really good question, because well, I started in Chicago, and I actually didn't play for 3 months. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. But at the same time, I just, you know, I'm just very grateful that I got an opportunity to play this year, and I can't, you know, thank everybody enough for just, you know, believing in me and giving me a shot. So.
What was going through your mind when you were actually come up and they said, okay, you're going from Chicago and you're going out to West Coast? You're going from a Canuck organization to a Calgary organization. What were you thinking of?
I just wanted to play, and you know, like, that's the bottom line. Like, it didn't matter where, what league, or when. I just want to play hockey, and it doesn't matter, you know, where it is. And I mean, when the call came at, you know, 2 hours before trade deadline, my bags were packed in 2 seconds, and I was on the first plane out of there. So I'm just so grateful for the opportunity that they gave me here, and I just can't speak enough about this organization. Unbelievable people, you know, from the top down, and I mean, they just love to win, and you know, they're professional, and you know, they're everything in an organization that you want. So can't say enough about it.
Is there any one thing in your game that you're looking at focusing on and improving on going into next season?
Oh, there's a ton. You know, I could, you want a list, I'll give you a list, but I mean, if you want specifics, I want to work on my offensive game. I think I've got a pretty good defensive game, and, you know, I can really add, you know, maybe a little bit more offensively with, you know, maybe improving my shot, improving my footwork, improving, you know, my vision offensively. And so I think that, you know, that's some specifics that gives me a good, you know, guidance going into the summer. But I mean, I just want to be better, you know, physically, mentally, and just all around player for next season.
Lastly from me, for the young kids that watch the season for the Abbotsford Heat, you're so involved out here with the minor hockey program. How do you tell the kids that it's just a loss, and for the parents not to put too much pressure on their kids when they play sports?
I mean, that's a very good question, and I think you raise a really good point. And I mean, we stress process here, and Coach Ward, he stresses process, and it's not about the outcomes. You know, if you know, focus on the moment and you focus on now, you can't, I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't dictate, you know, the results. So if you're getting better as a person, if you're getting better as a player, if you're getting better, you know, like as a team, like that's what's most important. And, you know, for the parents that, you know, like push their kids and like put a lot of pressure on them, it really does a detriment, you know, to them. And it can really, you know, cause a lot of problems. So, you know, if they're getting better as a person, if they're getting better as a teammate, and they're getting better, you know, with their own skills, like that's all that should be looked at. And, you know, you add those days up that you work on that kind of stuff, and, you know, you're probably going to be pretty good. So,
what can you say just about playing under Troy Ward?
What can I say? Man, the guy gets it. You know, like he really truly understands, you know, what it takes. And I mean, he preaches, you know, like being a good person first. And I mean, like, you know, you have good people, you're probably going to have a good team. And it doesn't always, you know, work out the way that you want it to. But at the end of the day, I can say that, you know, every one of those guys in there cared about the team. And, you know, not a lot of teams can say that. If, you know, you've got 30 guys in there that care, I mean, it's unbelievable what you can accomplish. And I mean, it speaks so much for Troy, and, you know, the way that he just handles himself, his you know, coaching staff, and the way he runs, you know, the whole show. It's unbelievable. He just gets everybody to buy in, you know, and it's something that, you know, I really respect, and I respect him and everything that he does. So
Good. JP, thank you.
Yep.